right. Hey guys, it's Alicia. I am back with your 5 minute career hack this week. I am so excited because if you're listening to this live, then this is my birthday week. So this is my gift to you. And here's where I wanted to kind of change the script this week. And we're going to talk about detoxifying your work environment. And it's not going to be by anybody but you. So you ready to tune in? Okay. So I'm sure if you have scrolled social media, watch your favorite show, heck, talk to a friend or family, I'm pretty sure that you have consumed, probably even the last week, somebody complaining about their job, their wage, their coworkers, being stressed. And honestly, in a few clicks, you probably can find a full assessment and a checklist to assess whether your job is a toxic work environment. And I'll tell you what's missing: you. There is no questions for the person to think about themselves and the role that they play. So today, we're going to be doing our own personal checklist to see if we are supporting these things that make it really a non-desirable workplace. What social media has created is this idea that everybody is their own brand. Heck, if you look and you scroll in your timeline, there's probably somebody on a private jet, there's someone in designer clothing, handbags, they're living this life of leisure, they're staying in the best hotels, they're in these fantastic restaurants, they're drinking midday, and you may be thinking, man, what am I doing wrong? But the reality is that's not their reality. Most people are not on private jets. They're not being driven by a chauffeur, and they don't have a personal assistant. In fact, that's not everybody's goal as well. So let's reshape that, because here is how we need to debunk those unrealistic expectations, right? Because everyone will have you feeling that 6 figures is actually the amount that it takes for you to be happy, when research has shown that $75,000 a year is the ultimate wage that most people have identified that they are their happiest, even those that have exceeded that wage. Okay, not saying that you need to, not aspire to make more, or you're not happy with your current wage. But what I do want us to pause and identify is that the common thread that most people have is that they want to have a calm, peaceful, happy life that they enjoy with their friends and family. So with that being said, you don't have to prescribe to the hustle culture, and that could be causing a true toxic environment. And we all know that it's this idea of no sleep and things like that is creating a higher rates of stress, suicide, and a multitude of health concerns. So this week, we're going to go through some hacks to really identify what toxic is and how you can detoxify your work environment. So let's first start off with the word toxic. So if you're following us on YouTube, you have our definition that is right here. If not, check us out there. When I was looking this word up, because it's always important that I start there so we can make sure that subconsciously we're not redefining things based on what we see. Britney Spears came up, and oh my gosh, I sat through that video. But there was something that she said that was epic. She was describing this love affair with this person, and she was like, you should come with a warning label. But as you listen and you continue throughout the song, it doesn't make her not want to be with the person. It just gave her an idea of what she was getting into, and she got to choose what she wanted to do moving forward. So I would say this is very important, especially if we pause and think about all of the tips and hacks we've been given around workplace, looking for another job. This will help you. Here are a couple of questions I want you to ask yourself before we get into our hacks for the week. If everything offends you, it may be a consideration that you have low emotional intelligence. Okay? The second question is if you are a poor manager of relationships. So I want you to think about in conflict that you've had in the workplace, if the common denominator is you and you've been in multiple departments, you work with multiple people, and it's the same opportunity and complaint, this may be an opportunity for you to think about these hacks that we're about to apply, okay? Or you keep meeting the same person that is causing these things for you, okay? Now here's the deal. You can choose to be the next TikTok sensation and have the most epic reel that you post and telling your job F you, but here's the real. Nothing's gonna change if you don't. You're just gonna be without a job. So don't let social media get you caught up, okay? We're here to help at the 5 Minute Career Hack. There are a few things that most people need in a work environment, and I want us to get grounded on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Why is this important? Because if you'll see here at the base level, there are some things, no matter what you're considering, that people need, and we call this safety. In the work environment, we call this psychological safety, and there are some things that cause people to not feel psychologically safe in the work environment. And I want you to ask yourself these questions and think about how you can avoid these pitfalls. So number one, really how people deliver bad news generally can cause the lack of psychological safety. So we really want you to think about how frequently you talk to your teams. Number two is how people ask questions. Generally, in a toxic work environment, being questioned or you feeling questioned can make you feel threatened. Well, we want you to really assume good. The next is, how do you foster an environment where sharing is encouraged? And what we mean by this is oftentimes people will not share half-baked ideas. Okay, we don't want your best ideas to be in your notes app or be in your email draft. We really want to make sure that we're encouraging sharing of thoughts. And then last but not least is failure. How do you encourage failure? And you may be thinking, what do you mean? No one is starting their day wanting to not achieve their goals. That's not what we're stating. What we're stating is you don't want to be in an environment where your career is over because of one thing, or you made a typo and someone is sending you an email back highlighting this, or there's a risk associated, so you don't assign it to other people, you do it yourself. All of those things can contribute to what is described as an area that's not psychologically safe, okay? So what you can do is you can give autonomy when there is low risk. You can share with someone that, hey, this is something that's preventable that you want to stay away from, or you can go and inspect something before someone needs to turn this in to a more senior boss, or you can delegate things to them and then go and check, and now you're building their acumen in that area. So these have been just some areas that you can use to detoxify your work environment.